Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, and we're here to talk about Game 5, because Game 5 was an absolute fucking disaster. I had to go to the bar to play my pool league match. My stomach hurt so bad that I lost the match and came home immediately. I decided to watch the game, and I decided, after, in the third quarter, I was basically done with the game. Now, there was a lot to go over in this game. The first being that Tyrese Halliburton needs to stop being a bitch. I'm so tired of Tyrese Halliburton just deciding to take games off. You know what I'm saying? This is the dude who's supposed to be the all-star on our team. He's been making $250 million, and for whatever reason in these playoff games, bro just decides, I'm only going to take 9 shots this game. And it's always on the road. It's never at home. It's I don't get it, but he needs to take more shots. He is our bona fide all-star, okay? He needs to do more. He needs to try to score more. As for Pascal Siakam, he's not looking like a $250 million player. I'm going to be honest with you, if the Pacers give him $250 million, then it's a massive overpay for Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam is a good player, 2-time All-NBA. I understand he wants to get paid, but $250 million, $200 million sounds like an awful lot of money for a guy who's playing like fucking shit in this series. The most relevant he has been in these playoffs was game 1 and 2 against the Bucks, who, by the way, I think are a better fucking team than the Knicks. Okay? Yeah, they might not, as a unit, they might not be better, but the Milwaukee Bucks definitely have more fucking talent than the Knicks do. The Knicks are just a scrappy defensive team with a fucking midget at point guard who is capable of going off for 40 because nobody is preventing him from getting to the fucking free throw line. That is where Jalen Brunson does all of his work. At the free throw line. Once you get him inside that free throw line, okay, you either have to block him or foul him or something. Andrew Nembhard is clearly not doing it. Andrew Nembhard cannot fucking guard Jalen Brunson, but Aaron Nesmith can, and so can TJ McConnell. So, I'm going to be honest, put Andrew Nembhard on Josh Hart or fucking Dante DiVincenzo and let it be. Now, I will say this. Tyrese Halliburton has to be better at switching on screens. This dude in fucking Game 5 looked like he couldn't give 2 shits and a flying fuck about playing defense. Tyrese Halliburton has consistently been the worst defender on the floor for the Pacers the entire playoffs and the entire regular season outside of Buddy Hield. All right? You need to play fucking defense. I understand that, you can't be bothered with it because your team scores so many fucking points that you don't really give a fuck about playing defense. I understand that, but it's the playoffs, okay? You do have to play defense to some extent, or at least be somewhat competent on switches, and Tyrese Halliburton is not. In fact, the whole fucking team was bad at defense in Game 5. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo, Miles McBride, okay? Both of these dudes. Dante DiVincenzo played like shit in Game 5. But Miles McBride played very fucking well. The dude could have filed his fucking taxes from the three-point line. He had so much time to shoot those fucking threes, okay? It's just the idea. They need to play defense. They couldn't even pass the ball correctly in Game 5. So, there was no rebounding. Isaiah Hartenstein got 12 offensive rebounds. They're not boxing out. They're not playing defense. They're not fucking passing the ball correctly. Our star players aren't taking initiative to try to even score the ball. So I'm just gonna say this. I don't think the Pacers are not gonna have another game as bad as Game 5. Just like the Knicks had a terrible Game 4, I don't think the Knicks are gonna have another Game 4. So I'm glad we got the 2 shittiest games out of the way. It's just the idea. This team needs to be better. And when it comes to the Knicks, I hate Dante DiVincenzo. I'm gonna say that straight up. Dante DiVincenzo might have cost his team the series. And the reason I say that is because there was already enough technical fouls in Game 5. All right? But the idea that you came out in the media afterwards and talked shit about a guy who is 8-9 inches taller than you, I'm gonna be honest. You might think Miles Turner's not that guy, but you should go ask Bradley Beal if Miles Turner is that guy, okay? Because I'm gonna be honest, I think Donte DiVincenzo in one of his games is going to catch a flagrant 2 at some point. And for all I know, Rick Carlisle could put James Johnson in the game, a guy who's got, an MMA record of like 3-0 or 5-0 or some shit. Maybe Miles Turner ain't that guy, but Bloodsport is, okay? James Johnson is, in fact, about that action, okay? James Johnson will come in and fuck somebody up if he has to. He is a player coach. Man ain't getting no burn. He's on the roster for a reason, and if he has to play in game 6 and 7 to lay a hard foul on somebody or punch somebody in the fucking face at this point, James Johnson's gonna be the guy to do it. So, and he's a guy they haven't seen yet in this series. So, I don't know how game 6 and 7 is gonna go, but I am gonna say this. This series is probably gonna go to 7 games. Both teams seem like they can't win it all on the road. So I don't know what's going to happen, but they really need to stop Jalen Brunson. If you can stop Jalen Brunson, you can beat the Knicks. And I have a feeling like there's going to be a whole lot of double teaming coming towards Jalen Brunson the next 2 games. So it's just the idea like that. If you're the Pacers, that's what you have to do. You have to force somebody else to beat you. Okay? Preferably Josh Hart. But it's just the idea. I don't like Donte DiVincenzo. This fucking ginger, ever since he came to New York, seems to think that, like, he is, I don't know, bigger than he is. He seems to think that, like, he's, I don't know, he came to New York and all of a sudden he has this new set of balls that we've never seen in any other location. I mean, granted, being in New York will do that to you. But it's just the idea. Donte DiVincenzo is easily the most irritating player on the fucking Knicks. And I'm at a point now where I feel like they should just call him Dante Marcus Smart DiVincenzo, because not only will he flop, he will push off, he will do whatever is fucking possible to win the game. And I've also noticed this as well with Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, is these motherfuckers love to put their forearms into defenders and push them off of them when they go for layups. So, and I watched game 5 like 2 or 3 times in the past 24 hours because I'm like, how is it possible to be this fucking bad? I watched it at work today. I mean, the fact of the matter is the Pacers need to play with the same physicality that the Knicks do. And, you know, the Isaiah Jackson technical fouls and shit. I mean, Jalen Brunson got called twice in game 5 for pushing off. So, it's very obvious pushing off is part of their fucking game plan. So, I don't know, man. You know what? We'll see what Game 6 and Game 7 bring, but I have a strange feeling that all this bullshit Donte DiVincenzo's been doing is going to come back and bite them in the ass at some point. You know, he started with Joel Embiid, of all people, in the Philadelphia series, and not for nothing, but if it's Donte DiVincenzo versus anybody who plays a forward position, I'm taking the guy who's 7 foot over the guy who's like 6'4" in a fight. That's just my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what Game 6 and Game 7 brings, because I do think this series is going to go to 7 games. If you're Rick Carlisle, okay, and you're getting killed on the boards, there is a guy on your team by the name of Jalen Smith who rebounded pretty well in the regular season. There's also a guy on that bench by the name of Jarris Walker, where I would just like to see you try to play him against somebody like Josh Hart or Donte DiVincenzo, because even though Jarris Walker might not be the greatest offensive player in the world, part of the reason we drafted him was because we needed improvement on defense, and he was a great defender in college. Like, just fucking try it. That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking to try it. Because for whatever reason, this Knicks team hit a switch in the playoffs, and suddenly everyone on their fucking team just magically became good at shit. I mean, Josh Hart shot 31% from the 3-point line in the regular season, and now in the playoffs, he's shooting like 40+%. So the Pacers are going to have to make adjustments. I'm going to call it what it is. They got to make adjustments. But at the same time, the main adjustment they have to make is stop Jalen Brunson. If you can stop Jalen Brunson, you can beat this fucking team. And the crazy part is, in Game 5, the Knicks were playing the Pacers game. They were, fast breaking, getting up and down the court. So if you're the Pacers, you're gonna have to play defense, and you gotta contain Jalen Brunson. If you can do those, and you got to rebound a little better too, okay? The rebounding has been fucking pitiful, all right? Like, it doesn't take much to box out, all right? Miles Turner's, 6'11", and Pascal Siakam's like 6'8", 6'9", with like a 7-foot plus wingspan. There is zero reason why Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo should be grabbing rebounds over you guys. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the next two games bring, but my assertion of Game 5 is that Game 5 was a fucking disaster. And even in the third quarter, the third quarter was really where shit went downhill, because they had a 7-minute period where they didn't score a single basket. And I find it hard to believe the Pacers are going to be that bad again. Where you have from the 9-minute mark to the 2-minute mark, they didn't score a single fucking point. And I don't think that's gonna happen again. I don't see that happening, especially with Tyrese Halliburton saying in Game 6 he's gonna take more shots. But it would be nice to see Pascal Siakam try some more post fades and stuff like that instead of just deferring. It seems like for whatever reason when Josh Hart's on, I mean, I don't understand, he's got the advantage on Josh Hart, and he simply doesn't take it. And Tyrese Halliburton, I understand, they've been trying to double him. They've been trying to, tie him up. The Knicks defense is very good, but they need to be more aggressive. Siakam and Halliburton both individually need to be more aggressive, or they need to get into that pick and roll game and make something happen, because it hasn't happened in this entire series, and we know that it's a thing. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.